Today I'm going to share an experimental emergency fret repair on this Gibson SG. Now this isn't a permanent solution, but it only took me about 15 minutes, and it lasted about 6 months. It all started a while back at a rehearsal. I had just put my guitar down on the stand and somehow got tangled with the guitar cord as I was walking away. I wasn't there to catch it like I was in this silly reenactment. I didn't even realize the guitar was tipping until I heard it slam into my mic stand. Lucky the neck didn't break. The full force of the impact was at the 3rd fret on the G string, leaving a nasty dent. And it wasn't something I could ignore. With vibrato or bending, the string was getting trapped in the dent and pinging really badly. Take a listen. Not good. Now the right solution is a full fret job, and I'll come back to that later. But I had a gig coming up on the schedule and I needed a quick fix to get this guitar back into service. Let's take a look at what I did. So I had this idea to use a drop of this solder paste, or solder paste for my UK and Australian friends. I wasn't sure how successful it was going to be, but I figured I'd document the experiment and then wait a few months to make this video so I could tell you how it worked out. I'll be using my Weller soldering iron, the silver bearing solder paste from Isotip, and a couple of fret files from Stuart McDonald. Also, some blue painter's tape for taping off the fretboard, and some sandpaper and steel wool for finishing. First of all, I'm just getting the strings out of the way. I'm not taking them all the way off because I'm lazy, and I'm hoping this will only take 10 or 15 minutes. I'll be doing a bit of sanding and filing, and I don't want to mark up the fretboard, so I'm going to tape off around the 3rd fret using blue painter's tape. Also, as much as possible, I want to avoid having the flux in the solder paste dripping down into the wood. Then I'm going to use some 220 grit sandpaper to try to knock down some of the ridges on the edges of the dent. I'm also deliberately scratching up the surface a bit here to give it some tooth, which will hopefully improve the adhesion with the solder paste. I'm not sure how necessary this is, but I folded the sandpaper and I'm trying to get down into the center of the dent. Then I'm just going to come back with a clean paper towel and try to wipe all the dust off. This Isotip solder paste contains silver and claims to be 10 times as strong as typical solder and resistant to stress and vibration. I know it's not exactly intended for fret repair, but I'm hoping it'll make for a solid temporary fix. The syringe makes it pretty easy to apply precisely, but I'm just coming back with a toothpick to make sure it's where I want it. Now I've got my soldering iron hot at 750 degrees, and it really doesn't take long to break down the paste and get it flowing. Basically that's it. I tried to smooth it out as much as possible, but you shouldn't spend too long on it as the flux can burn, and I don't know, but the heat may loosen the fret in its slot. Now, of course, the solder doesn't go on perfectly. It'll require some shaping to be consistent with the rest of the fret. So I'm using a couple of fret files. This one is intended for fret end dressing. A 3-corner file would be better, but this is what I had on hand. Now, it can be kind of hard to see your progress, so I'm just using my finger to feel whether the shape is consistent. Next, I'll use this medium-wide double-edged fret file to restore the fret's crown shape. I'm using a fair amount of pressure, trying to keep the direction of my movement parallel with the fret. And I'll periodically check my progress with my fingertip. This is probably the slowest part of the entire procedure, but even so, I only spent a few minutes filing. I'll speed up the next 30 seconds of the video because it's just more of the same. At this point, it's feeling pretty smooth, but I'll just do a quick pass with 320 grit sandpaper, and then I'll come back in a moment with steel wool for the final polish. One of the benefits of my laziness in not removing the strings is that I can easily put the string back on to see how it feels when bending across the repair site. And yeah, it seems to feel pretty good, so time for the final polish now. I'm using superfine quadruple zero steel wool, and I'm just going to give it about 20 or 30 seconds of polishing. I'm using a good amount of downward pressure and rubbing along the entire length of the fret, being sure to hit the sides and the top. Then another quick check, and that's feeling pretty smooth, so one more test with the string to see how it feels. It's not perfect, but it's much better than where I started. Now it's time to take off this painter's tape. And you can see there that the flux from the solder paste did end up staining the fretboard a little bit, which is disappointing. And surprisingly, the painter's tape, which is usually very safe to use, did leave a mark on the fretboard. I have a feeling that these are both just because my fretboard was really dry to begin with, so I'm going to go ahead and give it some oil and see how it cleans up. Yeah, this fretboard is obviously really dry. I'm going to give it some more oil. It's just drinking it up. And you can see it was pretty dirty too. Well, okay, I'm definitely feeling better about that. The marks from the flux and the painter's tape have disappeared with the oil, and the fretboard and the fret repair both look great. I've sat on this footage for a while so that I could report back on how the repair survived over time. It was all good for about 6 months, but then I guess some of the solder started to wear away and it started to ping again when bending. So I did a quick repeat repair the night before a gig. Talk about last minute. But it was super easy. I just repeated the steps that I showed in this video, 10 or 15 minutes of work, and I was back in business. Then, after another 6 months, I finally bit the bullet and did a complete fret job, leveling and recrowning all the frets. And I'll cover that process in the next video. But for now, I hope this has been helpful, and thanks a lot for watching. For more information on this and other projects, visit my blog at planetzee.com and at Facebook/JohnPlanetZ.